Alright, so what's up everyone? It's a brand new day. Back at it again like always. But I just wanted to make sure I took a little bit of time out my day to come and address y'all, say what's up, say hello. Hope everybody's doing okay, vibing well, feeling the energy. Everywhere, at all times, there's some form of positivity that's just waiting for you to grasp hold of. I myself have fell victim of the rut of not always acknowledging the positivity that's in the air and everything that's around me. And unfortunately, what ends up happening is that I become a reflection of the energy that I'm absorbing. And even worse, I give to others the energy that I'm releasing, which isn't always positive. So I wanted to make sure I started off today's video on a little bit more of a positive note, kind of like a little bit of a smile, a little bit of a happiness. I'm feeling high energy, got a lot of stuff going on that we're tackling this week. Typically what ends up happening is I never really can foresee where something's gonna go until I'm already right up in the middle of it. And it's not to say that I didn't take careful consideration in the planning stages, but what it basically means is that, like all things, constant change is always at the forefront. Change is the only thing constant in life, and no matter what you try to plan, no matter what you try to set in stage, and no matter what you try to control the outcome of, I can always assure you that somewhere in there, change is going to play a factor into the direction that it actually goes. So one of the things that I've had to really sit down and teach myself or remind myself to do is to be considerate of the constant change that could occur, that does occur, and that has always occurred. Now, one thing that I can say from personal experiences is that chance favors the prepared mind. What that basically means is that the more prepared you are for that change, the more expecting you are of that change, the more better you can control the outcome. So the chance and the variables and the factors that could end up taking place that can affect the outcome start to play in your favor the more you familiarize yourself with the methodology that you want to apply to what it is that you're doing. So here we are, we're at a job site, and what I'm doing on this job in particular is a lot of painting, oil base going on in the background. This was a two-tone color. I really appreciate the chair railing, because it allows you to distinguish and set apart the room and give it some depth. One thing that we have to do a lot of times whenever we run into these make-ready houses is we got to get them back to neutral. We got to make them back more crisp, clean, and ready to showcase for whoever may be the next renter. It also allows the person who owns the home to take better control over the condition of the home whenever it's returned to them, because the white offset or the real neutral lighter colors tend to be more reflective of any problems or any issues that may have happened while somebody was renting the home. I'm not too enthusiastic about having to watch colors disappear because I have a big passion for colors. I keep tons of color wheels everywhere I go, and I'm constantly trying to suggest new flavors or themes for people. But sometimes we fall into the rut about a lot of commonality, and people like to try to do what's the most popular trend. I love grays, I love blues. I've played with some reds that have really made houses pop and come to life. But when it comes to the chair railings and the trims and the crown moldings and all that, my all-time favorite is that real crisp ice white color. Like, there's just no competition for it that I've seen. One of the things that I prefer to see whenever I'm done with the finished product is I prefer to be able to see that how it adds up or how it compares against the thing that was there previous. And so previous to us going over the white chair railing and the baseboards and the window sills and the crown molding is the old school bare oil-based enamel. And what ends up happening with that over time is it starts to yellow. And unfortunately, you know, the yellowing over time is not really evident if you have colors on the wall until you go back to another white or a neutral color, and then all of a sudden you're left facing a lot of yellow colored doors and window sills, etc. All the trim work, which is kind of like the spice and the spruce of the home. So we like to give it that crisp, clean look and restore it and give it back to the way it originally looked. And so the reason I even brought up any of that is to address again the topic of change. You know, see, change is evident. Is sometimes not evident until you go back and you change something that was already a certain way. You know, you become accustomed to it, you deal with it, you absorb it, and then you don't really realize how much things have changed until you go back and you start to make a well-intended change on your own. A direct implication at what it is that you want to do differently sometimes is what ends up revealing to you something that you didn't even know changed over time. And I myself feel like that's a lot of where I'm at. You know, there's a lot of things about myself that I hadn't even realized has changed over time. My tolerance, my patience, my ability to communicate more rationally and effectively in the heat of the moment. All of these things have increased exponentially in my pursuit of making an operating business. And I always like to still use the word business. You know, I'm a little small scale still, sole prop, but I'm still out here handling up. And that's, I think, the key to a business. You know, it's not the numbers, it's not the figures, it's not the revenue. It's what can you really put your name behind, and what can you really sign your name next to and say, you know, this is something that not only do I do, but I do well. And I don't just do it well, I do it exceptionally well. So well, in fact, that I went down to the courthouse and I registered my name. So well, in fact, I have an A+ rating writing on the local cities and the things that keep track of my company. So well, in fact, that I have repeat customers that don't hesitate at all to pick up the phone or even shoot me a message and let me know how satisfied and pleased they are with my approach and then my ability to follow through on the work. That, I think, is what makes somebody a business. I mean, I'm not just out here providing services, and I'm not out here just delivering goods. I'm out here trying to make a difference. Like I say in my slogan, one home at a time. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I take on a little bit more than one home at a time. But my goal is to still treat each home with the personal love, the personal respect, the personal passion that it needs to be able to be something of some sort that somebody would love and appreciate and hold on to for many more years to come. And change tends to be exactly that. That's that unseen factor that helps shape and mold people into who they are destined to be. It helps shape events and situations into the life lesson that we go on to remember. It helps shape memories into the essence of what they are, so you can sit around at a dinner table and you can tell these stories and these experiences and these memories that you've shared with people with somebody else. And I think it kind of goes without saying that if we took a little bit of time out of each and every day to acknowledge even just the incremental changes, even just the little shifts and the things that we kind of tend to overlook daily, our overall feeling and our overall acceptance of what comes our direction starts to change as well. It starts to become more accepting and more understanding, more welcoming to anything and everything that might just flow our direction. And when that happens, amazing things are possible. There's that saying about, one door never closes without another one opening. Well, that is speaking to the power of change. You know, change is actually doors closing on you and then opening right back up again. And I have learned time and time again that there is absolutely no such thing as missed opportunities. Missed opportunities are only looking at something with a narrow mindset, with a very, very limited viewpoint. Because if you feel like you missed an opportunity, then what that actually means is that you were trying to grab hold of something a little bit more solid and concrete than the way the real world works. The real world has chance after chance after chance for you to jump on and plug in somewhere and just go with it. And unfortunately, society, indoctrination, status agendas, many of these things are responsible for making us believe that there's only one way, and if you don't do it now, it's now or never, and if you miss your chance, that's it, the ship has sailed. Well, I'm a living testimony that there's many opportunities out there, and it's just a matter of being able to grab hold one, dedicating enough time and energy towards it, and making it into something that you really want to see flourish and change. I'm out here doing exactly that. I'm not doing it with every single thing that I really have a passion about, which is I'm looking to change very soon, very quick here now, but I'm doing it nonetheless. And I'm doing it in a way that I can help share and show other people that it is possible. Those who know me, those who know my past, those who know my history, those who know a little bit about my origins, they know the struggles and the situations that I may have encountered and overcome. And they also know the ones that I brought on myself. But at the same time, who would I be if not for the experiences that I've had? And who would I be if not for the people that I've shared these experiences with? And I'm ready to start sharing them with anyone and everyone who's willing to take a second and listen. Because I can attest to you right here, right now, that if you apply yourself towards the proper direction, and proper direction could be whatever it is that you see fit for whatever it is that you're in pursuit of in your life. Don't let nobody tell you the direction that you need to be going, because nobody else is experiencing life through your eyes or through your experience. Okay? This is yours. And until the day that you draw your last breath, everyone and anyone is going to have an opinion about what you could have done, should have done, did do, or didn't do. And what matters in the end is, did you get to do what it is that you set out to do? And did you accomplish, or did you receive back out of it what you really thought that you were going to get? And if up until now your answer is no, then maybe it's time to sit back and do a little bit of revisal, do a little bit of brainstorming, and try to plug in and find out where it is that you're falling short, where it is that you're not networking enough, where it is that you haven't really quite reached out, and start doing it. Start reaching out, start calling those people, start touching bases, pick up that phone, start searching through all those old interests that you want to revive. And sometimes you got to submerge yourself in it. You got to put yourself all the way in and just go with it. And I'm really hoping to see a lot of my friends, a lot of my families, and even more of myself just getting out there and starting to really apply and taking seeds of something and turning it into something greater. We were not destined to just work and die. We were not destined to just pay bills and die. We were not destined to just sit stagnant and die. The things that we are capable of achieving, and the things that we're capable of passing on to generations after ours, are without parallel and without limitations. And the only way that we're going to be able to overcome any of those limitations and setbacks is to be able to sit back and say to ourselves, I'm prepared now for the direction that tomorrow is going to take me. And we got to be willing to do today what others won't do if we want to be willing to be able to enjoy tomorrow what others can't. So get out there and do something great. All right. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to leaving y'all with some more videos soon. Have a good one.